loves, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So today, this build is something a little bit different than what I normally do. This isn't like a house or a building in general. It's actually a carousel, and I had so much fun with this build, and it's located in the beautiful world of Brindleton Bay. Of course, you can place this lot wherever you please, but I decided to build it in Brindleton Bay because of the beautiful vistas in the background, the sea, the way the sky looks certain times of the day, and I don't build in Brindleton Bay enough, so I wanted to switch it up and, you know, use this neighborhood. So yeah, how are you guys doing today? I'm doing great. I'm very excited for this build. I had so much fun, and I pushed myself to a whole nother level with all of the intricate details and things like landscaping and trims and all of that, and I hope you all will enjoy it. For me to create this, it was such a treat, and yeah, I really adore this carousel. Now, I can't for sure say, you know, what it is as far as this architectural style or architectural era, but I will say with this carousel that I use a lot of items from the Vampire pack, and that pack has a strong Gothic / Victorian influence, so I would say it's more on the Victorian side. I really wanted to go for a vintage carousel from back in the day that was 2-level and really grand and had so much detail, you know, from the railings to the lights down to the horses, and, you know, just all of the little things that makes this carousel so special, and I really wanted to capitalize on that. So I finally broke down and got the Vampire pack, and I was really resisting that pack because I just simply did not want vampires in my game. I will watch other, you know, simmers and YouTubers play with the Vampire pack, and I don't know, the vampires just seem really intrusive, and I'm not super big on supernatural stuff. Like, I like my games to be more on the realistic side, so, you know, just having supernatural beings in game doesn't necessarily appeal to my personal gameplay. But what I will say is that the Vampire pack has a lot of beautiful build and buy mode options, and then the other end of that coin was I love the way they look in other people's builds, just how regal and grand and detailed and ornate all of the, you know, furniture and the trimmings, and, you know, just how grand all of the items from the Vampire pack was. So since it's October, and since this pack is currently 50% off, I was like, you know what? I got 10 bucks to spend. Let me go ahead and get this game pack and just build to my heart's content. And one of the first things that came to my mind was a carousel, so here we are. Let me know what type of packs do you enjoy most in The Sims. I pretty much appreciate anything with great build and buy mode options because I am a builder. I do a lot of builds, and I really adore and enthuse about different architecture and just all of the details. So any pack that has those great build and buy items, I am sold on. When I was creating this carousel, I was getting such fall vibes. I mean, and here in the US where I live, it's currently fall or autumn or whatever you want to call it, and I was just feeling really nostalgic. My first job was actually working at a theme park, and I worked there for 3 years, 2 years when I was in high school, and then the year after I graduated. And I did work at the carousel there, and I just had a chance to just be up close and center to all the inner workings and, you know, the music, and, you know, just seeing people of all ages being able to enjoy this ride. Because, you know, when you're at a theme park, a lot of things are restricted based on your size or, you know, your health condition and things like that, and the carousel was one of the things where it didn't matter if you were young and old, in great health or not so great health, you were able to enjoy and ride this ride with your friends and your family, or even just, you know, by yourself. Like, just seeing the world move around you is such a great and calming you know, feeling. And I don't know, I was just getting a bit nostalgic, or feeling a bit of nostalgia when I was creating this carousel. So yeah, let's actually talk about this build. Like I said, I can't pinpoint what, you know, type of style this would be characterized as, but I would say that it's, I guess, vintage. Definitely has a little bit of a Victorian influence and a slight Gothic influence. This carousel does have a lot of wood and darker colors. I try to lighten it up a little bit, but I do enjoy the darker tones with this. Now, I know nowadays a lot of the more modern carousels are really bright, with like yellows and blues and bright reds, or they may be pastels, like with pinks and, you know, baby blues and whites. But I really wanted this carousel to feel grand. I wanted to convey its, I don't even know what the word I want to use for it, but I just really wanted it to be stately. I wanted it to be regal, and I wanted it to feel like it was built some time ago. So I definitely went in with a lot of the extra trimmings, a lot of the extra, you know, beautiful details, and, you know, I opted for things with a nicer finish as far as the woodwork, and I hope you all will appreciate that. Initially, I was going to put this in Magnolia Promenade, only because, you know, one, I feel like I don't use that world enough to build in like Brindleton Bay, but I felt like Magnolia Promenade was a good place to put a carousel, because, you know, that's like the shopping district. It's not, you know, a house or like a business, so it would be nice and kind of like a shopping plaza, or like a you know, like a tourist quarter. But Brindleton Bay eventually won out because of the beautiful vistas and, you know, the way the sky looks at sunset, and, you know, just all of the things that makes this world of Brindleton Bay feel kind of magical to me. Even the fact that it's on the coast is such a beautiful detail that I just couldn't get in Magnolia Promenade. But yeah, like I said, this was giving me a whole lot of fall vibes. And let me know in the comments if you would like for me to expand on that concept. I was really thinking about like a fall festival, and I was also thinking about, you know, building more fall festival oriented things on other lots, maybe like, you know, like a flea market or a pumpkin patch or kissing booths, or, you know, just things like that. I actually did make a pumpkin patch last year around this time. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely link it somewhere on the screen or down in the description box below. I actually think that was like my first video on this channel, and it was a 2-part video. It was either my first or second build. So you can really see my progress. Not that I thought that I was a bad builder back then, or not that I think that I'm the best builder in the world right now, but I definitely see how I improved with my production, and just how I build things, and how I look at builds, and try to be a bit more thoughtful every time I create something new. So yeah, back into the build. We are, you know, like on carousels when they have like the little carriage where like a set of 4 or even 6 can sit in. So I decided to throw in a couple of those just so people could actually sit and interact with the carousel. It's not like just this big decorative object. And I do put some benches on the upper level as well. Now I'm making it look like those poles that have the ponies that are it's actually a base game item. The pony is a sized up version of a kid's toy, and I just put it on the freestanding pole from the toddler pack, and I'm using I think it's called Thousands of Years or something like that. It's just like this decorative trim from the get together pack, and I'm placing that over some of the poles to look like when the pony goes up and down, there's like a axle, I think that's the right word, or a rod or a bar, something that's actually supporting that piece so the pony can move up and down that apparatus. So like I said, I get really detailed with this, even more than usual, and I consider myself a very detailed builder. So it took me a while. Yeah, it took me a while. I would say this build gave me about 7 hours of footage, and I did like the bulk of the what's the word I'm looking for, the landscaping. Oh gosh, I did the bulk of the landscaping off camera because I already knew that was going to be a whole nother story. But yeah, like I said, this is really detailed, and I just enjoy it. This build was a lot of trial and error. I never made anything like this, and I didn't see a whole lot of other builds like this when I uploaded it to the gallery. So this isn't something very common. It's not like your standard like starter home or things like that. So just a lot of trial and error. One thing that gave me the most difficulty was, I guess, the little chariots on the bottom row, just making them look realistic, trying to make them look convincing. But yeah, I think I've got them to a place where I'm satisfied with them. Also, since this is uncharted territory, I had to do quite a bit of play testing while I was building it, just to make sure that your Sims were able to move about this lot freely without any routing areas. It took a while, but I'm very happy that it came together. When you use this build, or when you place this build, make sure that you have the move objects cheat on. I promise you, if you don't, a lot of things will fall to the ground and you will be upset, or at least I know I would. So definitely make sure you have the move objects on cheat. I don't believe I use any debug items, not any that I can think of. Maybe some unlock items, but if you're placing this on a community lot, that shouldn't matter. I would say the main packs that I use for this build is, of course, the Vampires pack. I use a lot of things from base game. I don't really consider that a pack, but I definitely use a lot of things from base game. And I would probably say the next pack is definitely the Romantic Garden Stuff pack. I feel like that has a very strong Baroque influence, which is kind of close to Gothic / Victorian. All of them are like very older styles that focus on you know, kind of ornate shapes and craftsmanship and high levels of detail. Other notable packs that I use is definitely the Toddler pack for the poles that the ponies go up and down on, and these beautiful lights that adorn this carousel. And I will also say Get Together was a great influence for some of the benches and, you know, just some of the smaller details. So I actually ended up moving this lot to the lot that's by Club Calico in Brindleton Bay. So initially I started on a 20 by 30 lot, but I felt like it was kind of weird just having a carousel plop down in the middle of nowhere. So I decided to change it from a generic lot to a park, and I just expanded upon the space. I gave it a real entranceway, a real exit, and just some other things for your Sims to do. Like I said, the carousel doesn't exactly spin around, so there's other things to keep your Sims happy and occupied while they're there. Some of those things include a couple of chess tables, you know, just all of the required items for a park. So like bathroom, chess tables, dining seats, and playground equipment. And I really enjoy how everything came out. Like I said, I put in a lot of detail, and I hope you all will enjoy it. Some of my favorite things from this park build, I guess I can call it a park build, was definitely the fountains that I used, which we'll get to in a little bit. I really adore the landscaping. I was going to record it for you all, but I did not want to torture you with an extra 5 minutes of footage when I could just show it off to you at the end. And I really love the fencing. That is pretty much all from the Vampires pack. Some of the gates are from Get Together, if I'm not mistaken, and the lights that I add in at the very end are from Seasons. And I love this flooring. I do get rid of quite a bit of it and opt for the terrain paint just to give me a more organic feel when we get into putting the park together. But as far as the part that's underneath the carousel itself, that is the dragon tile, if I'm not mistaken, from the Vampires pack. So yeah, now here I am just, excuse me, making sure that I have all of the required items for a park. So like I said, that includes some benches, which was already covered because I put quite a few benches on the carousel itself, but also the bathroom. I just used the kind of public bathroom that came with the Cats and Dogs pack. Some chess tables, playground equipment. So I do use the swing from Seasons, the swing for Seasons, the toddler slide, and the monkey bars. And I think the monkey bars are just base game, and the toddler slide of course came with the toddler pack. Now I'm just shortening up the queue line because really we didn't need all of that space, and plus it was taking away a lot from the actual play area that is probably going to be more beneficial for your Sims to use opposed to the carousel. But this is such a different build, and I really love it. Here I am just doing a little bit of light landscaping. Like I thought that it was just gonna be easy peasy landscaping this place, but no. As I went on, I just got more and more ideas and wanted to be more and more detail oriented. So I hope you all will enjoy it. Now I am adding in some details around the water jets that are in the queue line. So I really adore those like kneeling angels from Vampires and like the little pedestal that it sits on. And I use that kind of windy bush. Now I'm not sure if that came with base game or get together, but it's definitely one of those. And I'm placing around these I guess street lights that came with the romantic garden stuff pack. That pack is really slept on in my opinion. I don't see a lot of people really talking about that pack, but if you want some beautiful, and I mean beautiful, flowers and floristry, definitely get the romantic garden pack. Now I'm just adding in some more bushes and shrubs around the place, just making the place feel a bit more full, making sure that I am incorporating all of the things that are needed as far as the park requirements, and just arranging them in a way where things make sense but it doesn't feel cluttered. My challenge with the green space was incorporating these items in a way that, you know, it feels like you can actually enjoy yourself here. So at first I tried to put the swing set and the monkey bars together to make like a, you know, a bootleg jungle gym, for lack of a better word. But I realized that it was looking ridiculous, so I stepped away from a bit, focus on the things that I know I wanted to have arranged a certain way, and then I hopped back to the swing set and the monkey bars, and I changed them to colors that match a little bit better with the carousel itself. Now I'm doing a bit of terrain painting just to make the plants and everything just feel like it actually belongs there, like it just didn't show up. My only problem with Brindleton Bay is that the grass is already textured in a way that isn't like any other world. Like it has this kind of, I don't know, the grass just looks a bit more finer as far as texture, and it throws you off just a little bit because the area is flat, but yet there's all of this detail and fine lines in the grass in Brindleton Bay that doesn't exist in the other world. So it's just something to kind of adjust to. Anyways, now I am trying to add in this fountain at the front. I really love the fish that I throw in here, and I don't know, I just felt like it was really appropriate to put these fish in because we are on the coast in Brindleton Bay. There's like this dock right behind us, so the fish and the extra water influence was definitely warranted. Like I said, you guys, I did the bulk of the landscaping off camera. I'm sorry if you wanted to see that, but it was just too much. I lined all of these rocks around the areas that I traced out previously with that kind of stone texture, and I just kind of closed everything in. Like, I just finished it off, and that took me a lot of time off camera, so I do apologize again if you wanted to see that. But yeah, now I'm just filling in the areas that I put with dirt with different flowers from various packs. I definitely use a lot of base game flowers in here, and I think I also use I would say mainly base game flowers and mainly cats and dogs trees. And at this point, I'm really just polishing off everything. Again, I had so much fun creating this build. There's such a level of detail that I'm absolutely proud of. Let me know if you download this. Again, if you do download it, make sure you have the move objects on cheat. That way nothing shifts around on you. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And just join the family. You know, I welcome all of you all, and I definitely appreciate all of your feedback. Feel free to follow me on my social medias, which are always listed down in the description bar below. On Twitter, my handle is Simply-Nisey YT, and on Instagram, I'm just Simply-Nisey. And yeah, as always, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, guys.